Well, it's such an honor that you're here. Really looking forward to learning from you as well. You've worked as a former judge, an author, a speaker, and facilitator of collective trauma healing in Argentina and Latin America, which is major work. And I really acknowledge you also for how you've been working on focusing on trauma-informed law and advocating for the integration of law and spirituality. Now, that is really pioneering work. Coming from a law background myself, I know that that must not be easy. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Anna.
And what we're going to be doing together with Alexander is we're going to explore some of those key concepts as a dialogue. So I'm going to ask you, when I'm going to position and share with you the first question, if you can build on the answers of each other, knowing that this is new terrain for all of us. So just like you to really see what comes, what emerges for you as deepening insight or perhaps whole new ideas. So the first question that I would like to then ask you, and Alexander will be asking the second question, is if we look now at these new paradigm principles of unity and diversity, holarchy instead of hierarchy, and evolutionary coherence, how do those principles feature in your work for the transformation of our societal systems? And I'd like to start with you, Flavia, first.
Okay, thank you, Anna. And thank you for bringing the law in the new paradigm, because it's very hard to do that. You know that. Well, we need to start to see law in another way that we see until now. Law, in a deep sense, are orders that unfold with beauty and complexity to allow the flow of the life. They are teleonomically guided by a deep meaning, this sacredness of all life. So our orders display in different levels, in different subtle levels, with beauty, with harmony, and with a process. The more subtle these orders are, the more they are guided by the timeless ethics of the laws of the universe. And the paradox is that they are simple and more essential. There is a beauty in this process to see how the laws display his different ethics levels. From another point of view, law are the energy channels through which the law of life flows in each culture, and each culture is wired in different ways. That is important because sometimes we think a law as a unique things. Not every culture is wired by different channels of energy. In the new paradigm, the principle of unity and diversity is expressed in a process of evolution that is organic. The law also could be organic, honoring the diversity of law of each community. As a fabric, each one contributes its color and texture, and the integration occurs at the level of shared values. One of the problems with the current system is that we want to put international order on top of local laws without listening to and understanding local practices. And people do not feel that these systems are their own because they do not respond to their wiring of life flow. So sometimes we think in a unit system, but not. We need organic system. Each system has its own color, its own emotional flow. This is the beauty of the system. All of that go together. It is not possible to evolve to a subtle order without first making the heroic journey to the root of that trauma, and heal it. Also, the law can be in trauma if the law is disconnected to the roots of the culture. For this disconnected, in these disconnections, the law is absencing, it's in the mood absencing, and it is disconnected with the system. So the wire of the system, the wire of the energy is cut. This is a traumatization in law itself. In this journey to healing the trauma in the law, we need to go deeper in the roots of the law, look there, what is broken, because when there is a trauma, it's because in this point, the law of the cosmos is broken. So healing the trauma is also go back to this point where the law is broken and put there the right law again. We do this journey. Until now, we think a trauma as individual, how we can heal our trauma. But now we face the challenge to heal collective traumas. And the law is a great, formidable tool for that, because have the possibility to make in this point where the law is broken, because the law is outside the cosmic law, the cosmic order, put again this order. We need to reconnect the disconnected part of the system to create a coherence and presence, because coherence is be together and be in contact. With something is cut, we are not more in contact. Coherence is only possible when all parts are connected and unified in purpose. That is why the law is a fundamental part of the transformation. It is one of the tools of the process of change to the new paradigm, provided that we connect with its transcendent essence and immanence to the purpose of life. In my experience as a judge of child and young offender, I realized the importance of embodying the law in connection and presence with the different layers of the field, and use the law not for discipline, but instead to strengthen the inner law and the connection with the meaning of justice. All the people have a strong sense of justice. All the child know what justice is. It's wiring in our brain also. So we need to use the law not as discipline, as a modern times, but instead of that, as a strength, the inner law and the connection, the inner law with the law of the cosmos. It's time to connect with the more essential justice in every action of our life. It's the way to reestablish our responsibility with humanity as individual, but also as collective. It's time to looking forward the essence of the justice and the essence of this law that is the connection with the law of the cosmos. Thank you, Analogues.
Thank you so much. This is so fundamental what you just shared, because you've given us the key for how law can become regenerative and healing rather than punitive. And that is so important. Earlier in some of the previous sessions, people were speaking about how fear is such a major blockage, but a lot of people fear the law. And law has been used to create a lot of fear, what you just shared.
What I'm hearing from you as well is really this kind of embodied and enacted systemic consciousness, or a way of developing a relational frames of being that is something, as you say, we can learn and bring into different levels of engagement at any point in our life. So thank you so much. Flavia, how do you hold this question of action, and what are the important steps we may take in thinking about drafting constitutions and so on?
We are in a point with the transition of paradigm. So the old paradigm is the modern paradigm, is the discipline, the punishment, the law is something outsider. And now we are going through a new paradigm that we are the law. The law is an internal law, in an inner connection. That is what we look forward. Knowing myself is knowing my law, is staying my law. But not also on a personal level, also in institution. How can institution drive in with inner law, with knowing the purpose, with knowing what is the vision we're going to? I think we need to embody this new vision. The person we are in the field of law. In this sense, we need, for me, the action are strengthen improve the intercultural and interreligious dialogue. That is important. The dialogue, the circle of dialogues, because the building of the new system is on the basis, from the basis. It's not on the top of the system. We need to make the architecture by dialogues in the basis, the dialogue between cultures, between interreligious dialogue. Build a global legal community engagement with a new paradigm. We need more people who work for the new paradigm in the legal system. Appeal to the sacred text. They are the voices of divine law in all the cultures. Also, the religions have this notion of divine law. The divine law speak through this text, and all the religions have this text. Include restorative practice of ancient traditions. Now we know in restorative justice that ancient practice are the more relevant way to put together in the same field all the community for resolve their problems. Trauma-informed law approach. We need to know about nature of trauma in the individual and collective level. If we don't approach the level of trauma in our roots, in our culture, in our body, in our society, we can't have a new system. We need first to heal this level of trauma. And widening human rights, including neuro rights, focusing on consciousness. Now in Constitution, we talk about neuro rights because we need to maintain, to keep safe our intimacy, our mental intimacy. And that include our consciousness. So also this is a new step in the constitutional. We need to protect our mental intimacy and also where is the conscious there? These are a lot of things to think about it. AI, it's transformed our life also, and we need to protect from the some points. Another thing I want to say that's more and more we need ethical restoration. That's the way now. Not to speak about moral because moral is in time in space, but we need to speak more than about ethical restoration. That's all, Alexander. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you all. Fantastic. And you know, this idea that none of us is as smart as all of us. And of course, it depends on how we are connected. There's the connective intelligence that leads to the collective intelligence that hopefully leads to the collective wisdom and the collective creativity. But this, as Irvin was saying earlier, is the information structure of the universe through which we swim. And that informs us, puts forms into us. So we are truly interbeing all the time. The question is how to live into that, right? And this is really about turning to each other. And this is what we are doing here. So it's fantastic that we are being the systems we wish to see in the world.